When this whole thing got started, it was basically, what can we do to get some information about Duramax out there? Now, a lot of you guys are diehard Duramax fans and such, and you know about the engine, but a lot of times when you just say Duramax, although they say the new truck, it doesn't really tell you guys everything that goes into this engine and everything that we've done at Gale Banks Engineering with it. So today we're going to go ahead and take you through the engine assembly plant, facts about the engine, how it's changed, what is on the engine, and what we've done with it over at Banks.
What I want to talk to you today about is basically what makes DMAX different and how we're contributing, and some of the key processes that we have in the plant that allow us to produce a world-class product. DMAX itself is a joint venture between General Motors and Isuzu. The majority partner is General Motors at 60%, and that was changed, I believe it's 2007 October. It was reverse of that. It was Isuzu 60% and then General Motors 40%, but through negotiations in general, I don't know the reasons, but it's a successful product, and it's key to General Motors' business strategy going forward. So the ownership or the majority partner is now General Motors, and so again, that helps us because we're able to benefit from using or picking from both sides of that. You have the Japanese culture and Isuzu and how they are. I've seen some of their processes, and they're really good at process control and really picking out details of the processes and optimizing. General Motors, of course, has some of the best practices for manufacturing. So again, we get to look at both of those and pull in what's best for us. So the culture at DMAX is a little different because we're not exactly Isuzu and we're not exactly General Motors, but so we've pulled what we feel are the best practices from both, and it has resulted in making us a very good manufacturer. We have a good product to start with, but the people put their heart and souls into it, and so that's one of the things that makes a difference. So now let's get into the nuts and bolts of the processes that we use. Again, this is just going to talk about a few of the processes that we use online. We're currently working with the Banks team on determining what the final content is of the engine and everything, but the processes that we know that we want to make sure that we have included in the Banks product. This is just going to be a quick overview. So again, this is a cylinder block. Just wanted to highlight, it's just a quick picture of it, but we have a proprietary hardening process in the ring reversal area. It's the only plant in the United States that uses this process, and I'm not going to talk about any details, obviously, but it's for our durability and to help increase the durability and reliability of the engine. And we had, at our 10-year anniversary, we did have an engine that was displayed at 1 million miles on it. And I don't have pictures of it, but it was pretty impressive how the components wore very nicely. And so we were quite impressed with it. Everybody who saw it was quite impressed with it. Again, that's just one of the things that speaks to the durability of the engine.
The 1 million mile engine was mentioned a while ago. And I was there when that thing was torn down. And it was amazing. That heat-treated cylinder wall, that little thing, you should have seen the cylinder walls in this thing. They were like, the crosshatch was still there. Yeah, it's unbelievable. The heat treat was obvious. You can see that as well. This guy used this thing as a hot shot. In other words, he pulled way over gross with this thing. And did it for hundreds of thousands of miles and religiously changed his oil and his filtration, etc. When the engine came out of the guy's truck, they dynoed it at Duramax, and it pulled rated torque. In other words, the records were pulled out on this engine build from when it was built. It pulled rated torque and a slightly degraded horsepower, but close to the original horsepower number. These are damn durable engines.